Iran's doomsday clock for Israel's end halts amid power cut. Oh no. Public timer, which is set to mark destruction of Jewish state in 2040. Wait, it is a real thing. How have I never heard? I feel like if you were a Jew, I feel like you'd bring this shit up all the time. This is good propaganda. Is this a real thing? Do they actually have an Israel doomsday clock? The clock was unveiled in 2017, counting down to 2040, which is when Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei predicts there will no longer be a state of Israel. Wait, this can't be real. Hold on. Iran, Israel, countdown clock. Khomeini. That's pretty funny if they really have one, though. Like, I admire the bravado. That does take balls, knowing that Israel has, like, F-35s and shit that they could bomb you with at any point in time. I want another source for this existing. How have I never heard of this before? 23 hours ago. Ooh, hold on. Iranian protesters unveil countdown showing 8,411 days to the destruction of Israel. I'm sorry. Hold on. Come on, give me this. Oh, look at that big cat.
And other Nutramax Laboratories brand products.
Okay. Damn, how obnoxious is it to do like digital Arabic? I imagine that, what's the name for English characters? These are Roman characters? Probably because of like all the lines and shit. Probably a lot simpler. This must be a lot harder, right? To get their displays working and shit. Latin? Is that the... They're musical people. What does this mean? Say, okay, we got days and only. What does that mean? 7,411 days left. Oh, it's right to left. You read it right to left. What a weird language. The time frame appears to stem from comments made in 2015 by Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, close enough. Khomeini, who said there would be nothing left of Israel by the year 2040. Demonstrators chanted, "Death to Israel." Notice they said Israel and not Jews. Okay, so not anti-Semitic. As crowds assembled on Friday for Al-Quds Day, Arabic for Jerusalem, while people touted placards condemning Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the U.S. The Revolutionary Guard took the opportunity to display its ballistic missiles, including the type which was used in Syria, where the government claimed it killed a large number of terrorists, although agencies could not verify the report. The display was in Tehran's Palestine Square, and state media claimed that more than 1 million people participated in the demonstrations. Similar protests popped up across Iran, with protesters condemning Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories and burning the Israeli and American flags. President Hasan Rouhani and Parliament Speaker Ali Larijani were amongst the officials who attended the demonstration. Israel is the mother of terrorism. Israel is the most malignant terrorist in history. Excuse me. More than... If you think that, you must think the U.S. is a bigger terrorist, no? What the fuck? This was a 2015 article. No, 2017. Tension between Saudi Arabia and Iran, tension between Sunni, Saudi Arabia and Shia Iran have intensified as of late, in part due to theological disagreements, as well as Donald Trump's increasing support of the former and condemnation of the latter. What a clock. Okay.
We're not talking about...
Why doesn't Elon bring that up? I feel like it's a good piece of propaganda. When they were like, Moqtadinejad, that dude's gone, right? And it's like, they have the clock. Have you seen the clock? What do you think the clock means? The clock? Hello? The clock? Why doesn't he bring up the clock?
The fact that Israel has slapped every outstretched hand that has been stretched out in its direction for the last 2 years, ever since what? Look, you can't deny that. If you want to deny that, I want to hear what you have.
Netanyahu was expecting. No, I'm sorry. Look, I don't speak for the government. Okay, but Netanyahu
I didn't say
was
you are. We're talking about what's happening in the
Netanyahu was
region right now.
expecting the crowning achievement of his premiership and his legacy to be a peace accord with Saudi Arabia. He sees peace with the UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco as some of the biggest achievements of his time in power.
I don't know middle lady's political position. Anna fucking hates Saudi Arabia, though. You can tell because they're allied with the Jews. Sorry, the Israelis. I don't know if she'll be forthcoming about that on this show, unless Elon or somebody presses her. But the same people that hate, because Saudi Arabia now, for a lot of these people, is seen as like the West. So they fucking hate them. They hate them. They hate Saudi Arabia. I feel like Turkish history has got to be really interesting. Because I feel like Turkey, who's like a member state of NATO, like Turkey like hates everybody. They think they're better than everybody too. I don't know why. Turkish people do this too. All throughout Europe, they always think they're the best just because they have the best hair. Okay, it's not fair.
But instead, his legacy is going to be genocide, Elon. That's done. That ship has sailed.
Of course, we don't want Iranian proxy armies on our borders that have the ability to fire ballistic missiles, invade our cities, and butcher people at will. Of course, Israel wants peace. And if Lebanon
weakening
wants peace,
Lebanon and Syria.
Yasmin, we'll just let Elon respond and then we'll come back to you.
Immediately. If Syria wants peace, it should have peace negotiations immediately. They will find a willing Israeli partner.
And we can see that's not true. I don't know what to say when we can actually see with our own eyes.
Why do you think Israel would want to be surrounded by countries that don't recognize it and don't accept its existence and are in a state of war with it? We've been in a state of war with our neighbors.
That's exactly my question. Why would it want to continue doing it?
Israel? Of course, we want them to get over their historical hump and move forward to a future of peace and reconciliation. We're waiting for them to get stuck out of the past.
Anna, what's your take on it?
Yes. I'm just, listen, this is very simple.
It's so crazy to me that she has contributed about as much as I would expect an uninformed 7th grader to contribute to this conversation. She's contributed nothing. Like, it's actually so embarrassing. I would fucking off myself if I went onto a show and my performance was this fucking embarrassing. That I have nothing to contribute except for, no more dragging us into foreign wars. No more wars. No, you're gonna drag us in. You're gonna drag us in genocide. Drag us into the genocide. You're a genocidal country dragging us into the genocide.
The country that is currently carrying out a genocide and the illegal annexation of the West Bank, building more illegal settlements. You need to stop interrupting me when I'm saying something.
Elon, let Anna respond, and then we'll come to you for the final word.
Now do the drag one so I can come.
Before we wrap up.
I don't believe Israel wants peace. Israel's behavior over the last year and a half gives me every indication that they're not interested in peace. They are carrying out the slaughter of innocent people, both in Gaza and the West Bank. They're doing it with absolutely no breaks in that car. And it's unacceptable that U.S. taxpayers are bankrolling that genocide. It gives me a great deal of shame to know that. But unfortunately, our politicians here are bought. I do wonder what exactly our politicians would actually think if they weren't bought by lobbying groups like AIPAC, for instance. But alas, we have corruption baked into our political system. And as a result, the American people and civilians in the Middle East have to suffer on behalf of the Israeli government.
That was kind of a drag. That was kind of dragged. Close.
Elon, final response from you, and then we'll wrap.
Yeah. I mean, Anna, with this deranged conspiratorial thinking, is trying to manufacture consent for political violence against Jews and Israelis around the world by framing Israel as genocidal. We
one-trick ponies, always the same argument.
7th with a brutal massacre in which people were mowed down at a music festival and children were burned alive in their homes. And in response, Israel is fighting war in the most difficult urban battlefield possible, where Hamas has dug tunnels under schools and homes and even hospitals. Mohammed Sinwar was hiding under the emergency department of the European hospital in Gaza. So is there destruction? Yes, of course. It's because the government of Gaza places military bases under civilian areas. It should free the hostages.
We can't get too bogged down in Israel, Gaza, because that's a whole other show. Elon, if you could just focus your final comments on the Israel-Iran situation, and then we'll leave it there.
I hope that diplomacy succeeds in preventing Iran from getting nuclear weapons, and then I hope that Iranians are able to build a democracy in their country, and that we can have peace between Israel and Iran.
Indeed, I wish we had more time to continue this debate, because it's been really illuminating and we have appreciated everyone's input, but unfortunately we have to leave it there. Thank you very much to Anna Kasparian, journalist and host of The Young Turks, Jasmine Al-Jamal, a former Middle East advisor at the Pentagon, and Elon Levy, a former Israeli government spokesman. Your contribution here at Counterpoints is very valued. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And as always, thanks to you at home for watching Counterpoints here on Al Arabiya English. To watch all the latest debates and interviews and avoid missing out, subscribe to Al Arabiya English on YouTube. You can follow us also on X and TikTok. Thanks.
Wow. $6-14 and 21-21.
Iran is the final piece of the puzzle, which is precisely go right into it. And there's a lot of backstory that I have to cover, but obviously the breaking story is happening at this very moment. Had to get into it immediately, but But yes, moments ago, Iranian missiles were launched towards Israel, and from what I understand, multiple missiles have not been successfully intercepted. Remember, this is a multi-billion-dollar operation. You got Tamir interceptors that are for the smaller munitions, like and you have the arrow systems in Israel as well. But then on top of that, you have anti-defense missile systems to protect Israel and Jordan, and you have the entirety of the American Central Command working actively to stop, working actively in real time to stop all of these.
Working actively in real time. What?
From touching a hair on the head of anyone in Israel. And even then, in spite of all of that, Iranian missiles have been able to penetrate into Tel Aviv, as you have.
It's so crazy how this guy is cheering for Iran. Like, at some point, you got to realize that you're the baddies, right? At some point, you have to realize it. At some point, you have to realize that you're the bad guy. Somehow, some Iranian missiles are breaking through, guys. Yes.
Have seen before, and they're still doing it. I mean, you can see it. Look, the ones that are flying from the ground are the interceptor missiles. They're anti-defense missile systems, and yet, in spite of that, the Iron Dome can be overwhelmed, as the Iranian retaliation last time around showed. This seemingly, according to Elant News, who's in the chat already, appears to be in the vicinity of IDF headquarters.
That is a positive framing also. There are any ESL people here. In spite of, like, is usually like a cheering on, like, in spite of this, he managed to persevere. Usually the word you'd be looking for here, if you were being more neutral, you'd just say despite Israel's Iron Dome, Iranian missiles managed to crack through their defenses. In spite of that, they managed to do it. The little missile that could.
We don't have enough information coming yet. Obviously, Israel also has deep censorship laws. I mean, even though they got hella smartphones out there, and there's like literally Israeli chatters in here who could just.
Israeli is the country with deep censorship laws in this conflict? What?
Like confirm or deny what's going on. But I think last time when this happened, the Israeli military immediately applied censorship and tried to stop the information from coming out, like confirming strike targets and whatnot.
I don't even, what is he talking about? There's like literally, there's a big app, Redfar, I don't know what it's called in Israel, to show you where strikes are going to be, where there's warnings, where there's sirens that go off to have you hide places. Everybody's got a fucking cell phone. They're connected to the internet. What is he talking about?
But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because obviously in the interim there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that the Iranian attacks are doing way more damage than we can tell, and Israel's covering it up or something like that. That's my bad. I wasn't being retarded enough. Jesus, I need to do like a whole bunch of DMS, what is it, cough syrup or whatever, to make yourself fucking retarded before I cover Hasan shit, and then I'll be able to understand it better.
There's going to be some misinformation. There's going to be a lot of misinformation flying around as always. So just, you know, be aware of that when you're bringing in information here, and try to go after trusted resources. I suspect
CNN mentioned that the IDF told people not to confirm targets today. Yeah, sure. But I mean, like, people are still recording everything and shit is going to get posted regardless. Like, hello, we've literally seen people on their fucking phones posting live recordings of... There's literally live camera feeds over Tel Aviv. Like, hello? I mean...
That Iran is not done yet. This barrage is just simply the first salvo. There will be more that comes. They have to.
Famously, the first salvo is always the weakest. You want to lead with the weakest so that your opponent has time to get all of their shit in line and be ready to receive your next salvo.
In terms of self-preservation, self-defense, and ensuring that they do not get completely eviscerated, I suspect that the Iranian government's calculation here is going to be part restrained. So not so aggressive that they actively try to take out like heads of state or anything like that. Just like Israel itself.
What? He thinks that Israeli heads of state are surviving just because Iran is unable to take them out? Or I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did the exasperated thing for the opposite of what he's saying. He's saying that Israeli heads of state survive because Iran chooses not to take them out?
Some of that restraint in comparison to how belligerent they are when they don't actually go after heads of state and stuff like that, but they assassinated a big chunk of the military command. They assassinated some top military officials, some nuclear scientists in residential areas. I don't know the exact number of casualties in Iran due to the Israeli strikes, but there was a relatively sophisticated infiltration campaign that Mossad had conducted, as far as I understand. This is not like glazed to Israel at all. But
the what? I don't know where the new IDF came from. I don't know how they have the time to do all this fucking shit. Holy fuck, dude! If I was any enemy of Israel in the Middle East right now, I'd be like, okay. The Uber driver. How long have we had this guy showing up at our place for? Like, Jesus, these motherfuckers are everywhere right now.
But I think it also shows a weakness within Iranian national security that directly stems from the resentment that some in the Iranian population have towards this administration due to its fundamentalist attitudes, especially amongst the Iranian youth, and also the fact that the country is in turmoil economically, and it's much easier to basically purchase allegiances internally within Iran. The fact that Mossad was able to create a drone shop inside of Tehran, from what I understand, and then utilize those drones immediately to take out anti-air defense systems that Iran has, and then go after the missile salvo, goes beyond the notion of Israel gets to do whatever it wants and can use overwhelming force because they're backed by the most powerful country on the planet. Obviously, that plays a major role. There are no repercussions for Israel, but make no mistake, the very fact that they are able to build a drone facility, like a tiny drone facility, inside of Iranian national boundaries implies that there are massive leaks within the IRGC, within the Iranian government, and that they can take advantage of the Iranian population's discontent to a certain degree. So this is a major problem for Iranian sovereignty in general. There's a major problem for Iranian security.
Wait, what is this quote? What? The footage no one will publish. Israeli air defense systems firing from densely populated areas in Tel Aviv to intercept Iranian missiles. Who is really using civilians as human shields? What? I've never seen somebody so close to getting the point miss it so spectacularly before. What the fuck?
And I suspect,
like, they say that Americans aren't a murderous people, but notice that they put airbags in every single car so you can crash as quickly as you want into somebody with impunity and always survive that. Like, what?
That a big part of the reason why this is even taking place, or even took place, is because of that glaringly obvious weakness, one that I have even mentioned in the past. The regime's attitude and fundamentalist attitude specifically paired up with the economic sanctions strangling the economy of Iran and causing volatility creates a major weakness that the Israeli intelligence has clearly exploited successfully. Now, like I said, does Iran have the capability of really punishing Israel, like doing the deed, right? Doing the thing that people are worried about, understandably, like killing a bunch of civilians or potentially even assassinating like heads of state?
21-21.
From the likes of Iran. But certainly, if Iran decides to launch a whole bunch of them against one particular angle, it's going to be very difficult for Israel to fend against all of them. So predictably, some will eventually fall. And that and by itself would be a new development for Israel, whereby such huge missiles would be able to create damage in the city centers of Israel. Now,
how long ago was the first big Iran attack on Israel? Was that over a year ago? How long ago was this? I don't even remember.
As far as the United States is concerned, now we have to ask ourselves a whole bunch of questions because our old assumptions no longer work.
Also remember, Israeli society is designed for this as well. Obviously, the Iron Dome has created a ridiculous sense of comfort for Israeli society that who knows how they'll react to this level of disruption. Having said that, however, they knew that this was going to happen, and they very quickly said, essential services only, we're fighting Iran, we're going to strike Iran, we're going to go to war with Iran.
Incredibly comfortable? That's an unhinged thing to say. especially from the same loser, degenerate, subhuman fuck who said that he lived in terror in Turkey because of all the bombings that he lived through as a child. My God.
Like, it was a basic war declaration, right? And they knew that there was going to be retaliation, which is why I assume all the fucking the remaining anti-Zionist Jewish Israelis in my chat right now are probably watching from a bunker. There are protections for this.
Crazy.
Right? You have the Iron Dome, you have the Arrow defense systems, you have numerous incredibly expensive defense systems. They are not infinite, though. They do not have infinite ammunition. They have the THAAD, they have the Patriot, they have American defense as well, working alongside the Israeli defenses. They have the Jordanian defense that is also intercepting missiles and drones. David Sling is another one as well. Just something to consider. Iran's air defense is now actually working at intercepting Israeli attacks. Yes, I suspect that they blew their first load. I don't know if there's more. I'm sure there might be. Is it possible Iran could get some help from somewhere else? No. Iran has no allies. Russia is entirely too busy.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say they do, but they're they're kind of Russia's a little bit predisposed at the moment, having all their shit being blown up by $30 Walmart drones from the Ukrainian special services, and Hezbollah is too busy not being able to answer a phone call from literally any device because they don't know if it's going to fucking explode. And the Houthis are probably back to starving to death, I guess. I don't know.
Doing an illegal and unjustifiable occupation of Ukraine, obviously, and China is a non-interventionist. At most, they'll offer some supplies. You know, who knows? But obviously, Hezbollah is gutted, eviscerated by endless bombing from Israel against Lebanon. And
yeah, it's got to be so hard. Fuck, where are my superior Middle Eastern warriors? Why is Israel killing everybody? Ah!
And, there's no... It's just Yemen. And I believe Yemen this morning, before Iran even struck, actually turned around and sent a missile that struck, I think, the West Bank. It might have hit Hebron. Not sure if they actually hit a Jewish settlement in Hebron or if they actually hit a Palestinian Palestinian village in Hebron.
You mean city? Hebron is a massive city. Also, pretty sure, isn't it like 10% of the territory of Hebron is Jewish and like 90% is Palestinian? So if they shot a missile at Hebron, they probably hit a Palestinian area. Does anybody have the map of Hebron, Palestinian versus Jewish area? Okay, I might have exaggerated a bit. But I don't know if I did actually. I don't know what the percentage is. The majority of Hebron is under Palestinian control, though. So if they're shooting anything at that, they're probably hitting Palestinians. But I mean, who cares at the end of the day, right? Good memes.
But the entire axis of resistance against American imperialism and Israel in the region is incredibly limited. It's just militancies that Iran funds and offers logistics to and offers training to. And the takeover of Syria obviously played a major role in the supply chain, destroying the supply chain. That look, the Houthi missile fired earlier this hour was not intercepted according to the IDF. It struck near the West Bank town of Hebron. So with Syria being overtaken by an American asset, with Jolani.
Is that the claim now? It's an American asset? I don't know. I don't know anything about the recent the fall of Assad and who's in charge, and I don't know anything about that group, so I can't say.
Zelensky, former Al-Qaeda. Zelensky, there's no sustainable way of sending munitions into Lebanon for Hezbollah to utilize against Israel now. Anyway, here's some images. It is also very interesting seeing like Fox News and Western media coverage over like apartment complexes in Tel Aviv incurring damages. Because like now you know how the media covers like actual human beings in a densely populated civilian area when they get bombed. Like they remembered that there are humans in those buildings.
As opposed to the wall-to-wall endless coverage that we've seen of Gaza since October. What are you talking? Is he trying to pretend that nobody in the media has talked about what's going on in Gaza? Seriously?
So it's also, the dichotomy is very interesting because like literally not even 24 hours ago, they were talking about how awesome it was that Israel was like, launching this incredibly sophisticated campaign in Tehran. But once Israel gets penalized in retaliation from a sovereign state that it violated the sovereignty of, all of a sudden everyone's like the horror, the shock. I can't believe it. Meanwhile, of course, Israel has been doing a the cleansing campaign that it even escalated in the last 48 hours in Gaza. Like, that helmet is not going to help you, big dog. You know what I mean? Trey, what's that helmet going to do, Trey? It's not going to help.
Is Iran capable to, in its words, unleash so much chaos in the country there? Is it capable of doing it now, especially being hit by Israel?
You mean the West Bank? Wait, what? No, they're hitting Tel Aviv, big dog. The clouds of smoke are coming from Tel Aviv. Obviously,
will someone ever confront Hasan on Twitch about his views? Hasan avoids challenging conversations intentionally because he knows he's uneducated on these topics.
The Yemen targeting capabilities are very different than Yemen's targeting capabilities are very limited in comparison to the Iranian
targeting capabilities. Like point and shoot and pray.
In terms of those hits that left enormous craters just north of Tel Aviv, very close to the Mossad headquarters. You know, I was there on the ground, and when you saw the size of those craters, had that struck a building, you would be talking about incredible damage, enormous numbers of casualties. And so the Israelis did get quite lucky.
Soon in Tehran, Israeli minister posed with son of deposed Iranian monarch. Israeli Diaspora Affairs Minister Amichai Chikli, he shared a photo with Reza Pahlavi, the exiled Iranian opposition figure. Yeah, they're like, we're going to put back the monarchy. We're going to restore the monarchy so that you can have a democracy, a democratic monarchy in Iran.
Picture in terms of casualties on the ground. You know, the sources that I've been speaking to in Israel over the course of the last 24 hours have all made clear that they expected that Iran's retaliation this time would look quite different, that it would be much more significant than what we saw in October. And while we certainly haven't yet seen that in terms of the numbers of missiles that Iran appears to have fired, at least according to the information we have right now from the Israeli military, it certainly is looking like those Israeli officials were right when they predicted a very significant Iranian retaliation. And then, of course, you have to keep in mind that this is likely going to continue for days, if not weeks. You know, the Israeli military, the Israeli prime minister has made clear that Israeli attacks in Iran will not be limited to a one-day operation. We have seen, of course, Israeli jets.
Yeah, that's the other side. Red Alert app in Israel has crashed. I mean, it makes sense. The entire skyline is lit up right now. It's just the Red Alert app is insignificant to use in the situation. It's just all Red Alert. Everything is red. Hey, Hasan, how can I explain to my Cuban mother that Israel's engaging in a genocide? I don't know. I don't know how, if they haven't figured it out by this point. I mean, just literally tell them all the children that Israel has murdered. And also, it is utterly irrelevant in this at this point. Like, that part is an utterly irrelevant piece of the puzzle here, okay? Anyway, if America intervenes, Iran should burn the Saudi oil fields. That is the nuclear option. The real nuclear option here that Iran has is not necessarily like actual nukes, but it's actually disrupting the entirety of global trade with its action against the oil refineries, okay? Global nuclear option here. If America intervenes, Iran should burn the Saudi oil fields. That is the nuclear option. The real nuclear option here that Iran has is not necessarily like actual nukes, but it's actually disrupting the entirety of global trade.
So Iran has already attacked Saudi Arabia refineries in the past. My guess, I'm super shooting from the hip here in the dark, with my eyes closed, in the middle of the night, and dead, is if Iran were to engage in behavior like that, like literally the entire world would be like, all right, you're done. Too much. Now you're done. You ever have kids that are like, I don't know why kids do this, but kids are incapable of calming the fuck down. Anybody that's babysat or dealt with like grade schoolers or like they're incapable. Once they start to get rowdy, you can be like, hey guys, chill. They won't. The noise will always grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until in anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, somebody gets severely hurt, something gets broken or destroyed, or somebody does something super. It always happens, and then that's when an adult comes in. It's like, okay, we're done. You're gone. Put this away. No more of this. Like, and that's what would happen with Iran. I think if Iran were to be like, we're gonna blow up every Saudi oil field as hard as we can, I think the whole world would be like, okay, well, You're done. No more.
With its action against the oil refineries. Okay. The Skyline live, by the way, third wave coming soon. Yeah. Netanyahu calls Iran strikes necessary to prevent the war he just started. I like that The Onion is trying to not be aggressive in its commentary, for the record. Wouldn't China intervene before it came to that? I don't know. I suspect. Okay. Iranian news outlets announced a second wave of missile strikes on Israel labeled Operation True Promise 3. In addition to military sites, the attacks are suggested to be targeting nuclear facilities inside Israel as well. The thing is, they don't have they don't have a reliable way of consistently pummeling targets inside of.
When it gets quiet on its own, you know it's bad. Oh, true. That means somebody did something real fucked up and they don't want you to know about it. When everybody's like loud and shit, and then all of a sudden like everyone's quiet, you'll hear it too because there's like a sound. It's not a parent thing. It's like if something turns off, you notice it as well. But if like kids have all of a sudden gotten real quiet, you're just like sitting around like, wait, what's going on? That's when you like walk into the other room and like everybody's like looking at somebody and then they look at you and they're like, okay, who's bleeding? Who's dying? Or what did you broke that you all just fucking, tried to hide?
Tel Aviv targets inside of Israel in general. They don't. So it's more so about overwhelming the defense systems to the best of their ability while also having a couple of the missiles that they lobbed get through. Iran does not have a way of consistently striking inside of Israel in a way that like Israel has a way of, in the same way that Israel is allowed to do this, or Israel is capable of doing this, specifically because Israel can do precise striking. Israel can fly and get refueled on the way, all the way over to Iran and make up.
Do F-35s need to? What's the mission range of an F-35? I seriously doubt they have to refill on the way there. No?
That distance and use airplanes to directly, like jet fighters, to directly target inside of Iran, right? Iran.
Oh, somebody said yes. They will? What is the distance from? Well, I guess, I mean, I look at it like it's inside the U.S., but I guess technically these are huge fucking countries. Tel Aviv to Tehran. Now I'm rethinking. In my mind, it's like 300 miles, but it's probably going to be like 2,000 miles, isn't it? What is the... Shit, okay, yeah, it's pretty... Yeah, I guess it's pretty far. 1,200 miles. Damn, that's a big ass... That's a wide boy. You got to cut the range in half because it's a two-way trip? True. Yeah, and depending on the missiles and everything they're carrying, I guess, is probably a lot as well.
Iran can't do that. Iranian Air Force does not have the capability, obviously, and also Iran would have to fly over hostile airspace to be able to get there. That's never going to happen. So the only thing that they have at their disposal is missile strikes and drone swarms, okay? Israel starts this. My friend, there's never been a moment where Israel hasn't started shit, okay?
Really? Every single conflict, it's all Israel. True. The Jews are everywhere. True. True.
But yeah, second and third wave of ballistic missile strikes is making its way to Israel right now. How much is Jordan helping? A lot. You should stop reading chat. What do you mean? The hypersonics that Iran are using are not getting intercepted in great numbers. This isn't even about overwhelming the defenses. Listen. There are... this is the decades happening, if you know what I mean. All right, this is the...
Sometimes a decade happens in a minute, and sometimes minutes happen in a decade.
This is the decades happening in weeks right now.
Yeah. What we're hearing from a spokesperson following the red alert sirens that have been happening across...
It's not. I'm all in. Where's the chips sound? Chips shovel sound. I'm all in on nothing ever happens. This shit is done in 4 days. Israel's going to bomb some more nuclear reactor shit. Iran's out of weapons. It's all over.
The country, the MDA teams have provided medical treatment.
Mossad IDF's very own Barak Ravid, Israeli official U.S. forces participating in intercepting missiles in Iranian attack. Of course, I told you that that was going to happen.
We're seeing the damage done to the building. There's a live shot of Tel Aviv. 5 injured individuals is the latest that we're hearing. 1 in moderate condition, 4 lightly injured by shrapnel. They have been evacuated to the hospital as we do await an update on them. As you can imagine, right now they're still responding to the scene there, Jen.
Well, it's interesting, and as serious as it may sound in terms of injuries on the ground, that is a very light casualty toll. If those individuals are not seriously injured and nobody has been killed, given that 100 ballistic missiles were fired at Israel tonight.
Yes, remember my quote to live by. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where nothing happens. And that's where we're at right now. We're at weeks where nothing happens, okay?
I'll be honest with you. Worst case scenario is America says, all right, it's time, and we're going to war with Iran. Best case scenario is Iran is able to deter Israel and America by way of Israel into backing down, okay? Backing down, getting back to the fucking negotiations table, and getting back to the bargaining. This is, here, I'll use an analog.
Yeah, okay.
That white people care about, like Ukraine and Russia. Remember when we were talking about like how Ukraine did this like massive drone strike on Russian aircraft, the Russian bomber planes, and I talked about how sophisticated this plan was and how good it was technically to develop leverage in the negotiations process. Think about it like that, okay? I know it's going to be really hard for some of the white people to comprehend what I'm saying here because like you're like, what? You're comparing Ukraine, a Christian country, to Iran, the scariest nation on the planet, but like major.
Is that the? Wait, for Ukraine, Russia? I'm sorry, I was just like, doesn't that comparison hurt you? But I just realized how he's comparing. He's comparing Ukraine, Russia to Israel, Iran, but Iran is like Ukraine and Israel is like, right, okay, based.
Major forces like this, regional powers like this, whether it be the global hegemonic superpower, the United States of America, or a regional power like Russia, they only respond to deterrence. And deterrence only comes from force, okay? At its most basic form, might is right is the only thing that these guys operate on. So you have to issue penalties to the state that is enacting this violence.
Damn, that's a dangerously Middle Eastern take. That is how people feel there.
This is what Israel has shown every single country in the region. Therefore, the best case scenario is that this retaliation for a relatively comfortable Western adjacent nation like Israel is too much to bear, right? Because we don't know what this is going to look like. We don't know what the endpoint of the Iranian response is going to look like. We don't know how much they will be able to target military facilities or even like a nuclear facility, right? But in that process, if they are able, or rather, even if they don't target nuclear facilities, what will Israeli society say when finally met with a fraction of the damage that their military conquest has pursued in all of their neighbors, in their entire neighborhood, whether it be...
What is he... Historically, does he think attacks on Israel have moved them towards peace and negotiations? Are you fucking retarded? What are you talking about? What?
Be Syria, whether it be Lebanon, whether it be obviously the worst version of this in the Gaza Strip. What will Israeli society do? Will they go, stop playing, stop gambling with our lives, enough is enough, or will they actually respond with increasing militancy and an appetite for more death and destruction? That's another factor to consider here.
Wow.
Okay? Same with the United States of America. Is this deterrence going to be enough for America to basically abide by the wishes of Israel, or for America to say, okay, we'll dial it back. We'll de-escalate here. That line of thinking is very American. They, like us, have to taste for their own blood. Wait, what? No, I'm saying that the only way, that the modus operandi here is responding to I tweeted this earlier. Okay? I said Iran has to retaliate because Israel has shown that they only back down when met with deterrence. Do not let anyone tell you that this response was unexpected. Israel and the U.S. both knew it would happen. That's why they declared a state of emergency right as they blew up Tehran. Okay? The nuclear negotiations was... okay, don't send me Felix Biederman tweets today, okay? This is... I can't respond. I love Felix. I'm talking to him privately, but I cannot publicly say anything about whatever Felix is posting. Don't do it. Look at the new video they're showing on Al Jazeera.
Issue and its unwillingness.
He said, don't drag me into your fucking retarded shit. This is unhinged. This is real? Hasan's Discord right now. Explosions in Tel Aviv. Apparently, the Houthis, Ansar Allah are playing the feed of the missiles hitting Tel Aviv in the middle of the city and celebrating whatever missile hits, which I cannot lie is some objectively funny hater shit. That is actually kind of funny, I guess. I need to live long enough to watch Israel and America be put down like the rabid feral dogs that they are. Okay. Do you think this guy lives in LA, Seattle, or Portland? Which one of those three cities do you think this 18 to 20-year-old white male, I'm sorry, non-binary is from? Is it considered racism if we hate Pisraelis, though? Nah, they're literally evil incarnate, actual demons on Earth. I hope Algeria is making nukes. With every fiber of my being, I hope they're developing nukes. Tell me, this Hoscord, where will the sex offenders flee to now that Israel isn't safe? You people are disgusting. Good. Fuck up, or fuck then up Ayatollah Sahib. I don't know what that means. What's that based? And you hate Israel, you're guaranteed to take out a pedophile. Damn. He does know that, like, Israel, like, that whole land is like 50-50, like Arabs and Jews, right? What? I mean, I guess, what, the one girl was 9 years old? What was, I don't know, in a video game. Video game. Okay. If you're going to be racist or whatever, or anti-Semitic, at least be funny about it. That's a good tweet. White smoke indicating a new Jeffrey Epstein has been chosen. That's a good tweet.
Dude, nothing ever happens. The nothing ever happens, Chud. I want to kill him. Every time I see, like, whenever anything happens, I think of his face. Whenever anything in the world starts to happen, I see his face in my mind's eye. And it's like, no, just no, not again. Every time you're thinking he will be defeated, it's like, finally. Every time something happens, you're like, finally, you're gonna die. You know, this nothing ever happens, Chud, will fucking lose. And every time, he's undefeated. Every time. The arc of history is long, but it bends towards the nothing ever happens, Chud. You think maybe it'll happen just this once.
Right. If you are protesting this weekend, click here. Protest Guide DGG Meetups. Here you go. Can I make a request, okay? For my, okay, another web request for people in chat. I understand that it's impossible to use cookies or to session track, and that all of that is apparently obsolete technology that can no longer be done. And therefore, you have to embed the most obnoxious fucking code or whatever in your URLs. But can you at least just like do a redirect after you land on a page so that when I go to copy paste something, I don't catch the 700,000 random fucking characters here that have all the information of my, what, like, can you please figure out a way to do that, please? So I can just copy paste an ordinary looking link. I don't need half this fucking link. Just let me copy. This is all I want. Please. Hit the share button. What's the share button? Wait, where? Share. Copy link. No, that gave me a fucking huge ass bullshit ass link. I don't want this. I just want this. Actually, I don't even think you need that. I think for Reddit, you might just need the... You just need that. Look at how easy that is. Look. Please. Please. Dog. Little spoon. Iris. Water bottle. Too close. Lens, bent, rod, cone, 1 week, potato, point of view, angle, cup, closing time, scoop. What? I got baited. Never mind. I thought these were like eye part things. Wait, really? Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, I can't get that out of my mind now. Oh my god. Ice cream. I want an ice cream cone, cup, scoop, and a little spoon of ice cream. Things that you can get ice cream in. Okay. An angle, a lens, point of view. Potato, iris. Oh, really? No, that's not a thing. No, no. Fuck! Can you see this through my lens? From my point of view, from my angle, from my... Too close? Bent? Bent in my direction? His bend, rod, dog, 1 week, potato, closing a water bottle. A bent perspective? Oh. Okay. All right. All right. Come on. Come on. Closing time. 1 week. Iris, potato, dog, rod, water bottle, and too close. Things associated with fishing. You have a fishing rod. You want to take a 1 week fishing vacation. Closing time, you put the sign up so you can go fishing. And... you take your dog with you to go fishing. Fuck. Okay. Okay. Too close. Water bottle. These are all 2 words. Potato, rod, dog, iris. No, that's so stupid. I don't know. Fuck me, dude. Hit songs of 1998. Closing time, iris. I think, is that the Goo Goo Dolls? 1 week and 2 close. Oh God, never. I'm never getting this. A hot dog, sure. Hot potato, yeah. Hot rod. Hot water bottle? Like a thermos? Okay. Ah, yes. Basketball, the favorite of all sports. I know exactly what this iconic moment was for. Okay, big guess here, guys. Let's fucking go. I got a Cleveland shirt on. Good luck. Please just be right. Oh, 2022. Fuck. LeBron James exchanging greetings with his childhood idol, Michael Jordan, on the court at halftime of the 2022 NBA All-Star Game in Cleveland during the NBA's 75th anniversary team ceremony. When did we start wearing masks? It started in 2021, right? And then we stopped in 2022? Oh, or did it go from 2020 to 2021? Oh my God. Thang Cao in Vietnam? I mean, Japan? With the unconditional surrender to the Allied nations by all Japanese forays, signed in the name of the Emperor of Japan of Tokyo, 1945, Supreme Allied Commander South, GCVO KCB. Oh my God! It's to me, General Command of all British, French, and Japanese forces in French Indochina, south of. Let it be known to all that it is my firm intention to ensure, with strict impartiality, that this period of transition from war to peace conditions carried out peacefully. Is that the name of the city? Can you please, just for once, be one of these fucking places? God damn it! There's no way that's not a Japanese fucking phone call. That's a so Vietnamese, right? Right? No, wait. No, wait, no, wait. No. 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 It's somewhere in this fucking bullshit ass place. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We're getting closer. Farther. Okay, I was trolling. Somewhere in that thing. Right? No. Somewhere up here, yes. That feels more right. Let's fucking go. Oh my God. Fuck! I should have went with this one. God damn it. It really is going to ding me 3,000 or 2,000 points. For a Japanese soldier posted the first official notice on a wall in Ho Chi Minh City following Japan's surrender at the end of World War. Saigon is the former name. Fuck, I didn't know Saigon was that, or because the names look more like this shit. That whatever the fuck that time. Okay, I didn't remember which one was Saigon. I don't care. I knew it was someplace in Vietnam. That's all I know. Saigon D's nuts. True. All right. Big balls. Let's LFG. Let's fucking go. Bruh, where do the purple people live? I don't fucking know. Is this real life? Oh my God, the Liberian flag. Oh, this is the Liberian Purple Balls March. In the year 2010. I have no idea. Fuck me. That was way closer than I deserved to be. Galokal performers, a Ghanaian art collective parading in Accra in striking costumes and body paint. Their work explores social and political issues to highlight environmental concerns. Jesus Christ. 2023. Whatever. Bush Sr. The new Pope. Do you think this is... Does this have to be in the Vatican? If it's got this stupid shit behind it? What's up here? No, that's San Marino. No, wait, am I retarded? It's here and then here. Down here somewhere, right? The Vatican? Ooh. Ooh. Holy shit. Think back to the map game. Italy. San Marino. Beep. No, the Vatican. Oh my God. It's hiding from me. How small is the Vatican? No. Oh, it is. Okay. Jesus. Fuck me. What? Come on. This is a country? Seriously? My dick is bigger than this place. I'm fucking losing my mind. Okay. And before, he's not even in the Vatican. When the fuck was Reagan president? I don't even remember. 2000 to 2008 was my man Bush. 92, Clinton. 88 was Bush 1. 80 to 88? Am I forgetting somebody? We'll put him at 85. Fuck it. Boom. God damn it. No, I'm sorry. I don't know. That wasn't that bad. Okay. 9,600. Honoring his wife Nancy Reagan at meeting Pope John Paul II in the Vatican Library. Wow. Okay, one more. Notre, but un Canada, un dun uson. Okay. We got some. Do we think it's Quebec? I have no fucking idea what the fuck any of this shit is. But who the fuck? No, literally no one. No offense, no one on the planet gives a fuck about Canada besides Canada and Quebec, so it has to be Quebec. And if it's in Quebec, it's gotta be Montreal. Old as fuck. Parties, I don't know, 60s? 66. Fuck it, good luck. 48, oh my God. Conservative leadership candidate John Diefenbaker delivering his nomination speech at the 1948 Party Convention in Ottawa. He later served as Prime Minister of Canada from 57 to 63. Do we get 40K at least? Oh my God.
I'm Cody, pronouns em, ers, or zem, zers, or really any neo pronouns that aren't z, her, hers. I am a white...
I'm good.
Oh. Did I just teleport here, guys? Weren't we in, like, Majula or something? Well, that was a little close. Holy shit. Glad I can just now. Chat, I'm seeing a program that is open that I use for practice that shouldn't be open. I'm just gonna make sure that's not interfering. Probably it's not, but yeah. And it can make my, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if like my desktop like flashed or something. I might just delete the bot real quick just for privacy concerns. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, it's a troll, right? Okay. All right. Fuck. We have to end earlier tomorrow, so I can read. I love you guys. Be careful. Wait. 9:40 and nothing ever happens, because nothing will ever happen.